So, guys, today I'll tell you about my 1-year-old survival world in my super flat on Minecraft Education Edition. So let's begin. It's my platform for the intros and outros. And then if we fly over this void of nothing except grass and animals, we get to a castle build that I have started but have not yet finished. So this is my place where I keep all of my stuff and also where I get my materials for my project. So these are the furnaces if I need to smelt something. These are the stone cutters, other crafting tables, and also have a bed to sleep if I need to, and a lot of chests with the materials for this giant project. So this is by far the biggest project I've ever started in this world, and it's going to take me many more months to complete. So if you fly around here, we have the walls, and later I'm gonna add some texture like the mossy stone bricks and the cracked stone bricks, but for now it's just stone brick wall. And these parts where there's like the more round shapes or the pillars are gonna be, and they're gonna be a bit taller, and there's gonna be a fancier rooftop. These are some houses and outlines of the houses that I'm gonna put, and there's a lot more to come. And here we have a pathway. It's a pretty good pathway. I like it. I designed it myself, and it just winds around the central build, which is gonna be the main castle where I'm gonna live. And these are some beacons with all the effects that I'm gonna need for this build, like haste and speed and jump boost. And here inside this castle we have our final netherite beacon for speed 2, which is the most important part for a build, to have speed. A beacon, that's the first one you should add. And going back to the bigger part of the world, we have a not working sand farm. So this is a sand farm and iron farm with some spawners, but this part I made myself, so we have a lot of iron and it's used for a lot of builds in my world. So this over here is a crop farm, which used to work, but all the villagers messed up the hopper minecarts, but still somehow produces more stuff. So I had to change this design in the center a little bit because it was suitable for Java, and we're on Minecraft Education, which is basically Bedrock Edition. And over here in this building we have our brewery where we brew our potions, and all of these helmets, well, I just had a lot of helmets left over from another project, and I decided to decorate with them. Yeah. And so you can make any potion with the blaze powder, the redstone, and the gunpowder, the glowstone, the glass bottles, and some blaze rods, and the warts. And here's the stuff for every potion, so I can make them whenever I want. And this shulker box is for the dragon breath, which allows to make us the linger potion. And by the way, I'm still in 1.20 on this world, so it's not 1.21, so we're gonna have to add 4 more potions once we change well, once we update our world. And this building I built a long time ago. It just looks kind of nice from outside with these mushrooms and the dark oak to add more color. And inside here, I just built this elevator and some rooms, but I still don't know what to put there. So if you have any ideas, you should suggest them in the comments. Here I have my bamboo farms, which produce a good amount of bamboo. I built them a very long time ago. In these sugarcane farms are pretty good as well. Then here we have our manual wheat farm, which is pretty good to make packed mud, which I use in a lot of my builds. Here we have our snow farm, and it all gets funneled down into these chests, and there's a lot of chests and a lot of hoppers. This is my first infinite water source, and like around here is like where I started to expand from in all directions. Here's my sheep farm with a couple of chickens and iron golems. Here's my auto smelter, which is working pretty good and has a lot of furnaces, so it's pretty good if you want to smelt a lot of things in a short amount of time. It does it pretty well. Then over here we have this design of the cobblestone farm I made from a tutorial, and this one I made myself, so they're pretty much similar, but this one has a couple of changes, and I don't really know which one works better. This is my basalt farm over here, and it produces basalt. Yeah. Then here's my manual nether wart farm. And then here's my main and another portal. And this over here is my storage room where I get all the blocks from. So there's stuff like mud and stuff related to that. There's dirt over here and grass, cobblestone and stone, some rails and glass, and all the other things that I need for my project. And these are the valuables, like diamonds, netherite, and some iron. These are all the ores if I like need to decorate them with my projects, and a lot of other stuff. And I have a lot of shulker boxes. Yeah, so this is my passive mob farm or food farm, and yeah, it's pretty easy, but it's very useful to make, and it produces a lot of food and other mob items. Yeah, so this is a lot, as you can tell, and yeah, it's a very good farm to make. This is my creeper farm, but it can be used when I'm not in peaceful mode. And most of the time I'm in peaceful mode, so there aren't a lot of drops. There's just this. It's a pretty good gunpowder farm for Bedrock Edition, but it took such a long time to place all these trapdoors and buttons. It was very mentally bad for my mental health, I was gonna say. These are my islands, my floating islands, and I'm gonna make one for each biome if I can. And as far we have the spruce, the birch, the cherry, and the jungle, with all their unique houses and a lot of leaves. And I try to make them look very colorful and unique, but we've got a long way to go because there are a lot of biomes in Minecraft. And this island is where I sleep. This bed. This is my house. But I'm also making a self-sustainable base, so if you want to see that, you're gonna have to watch till the end of the video. This thing with the eye is my music disc museum, and on top we have these people partying, and Bedrock you can move the armor stands, and they also have arms. These are tables with some food, and there's some natural bamboo over here and some leaves surrounding the top. And if you drop down over here, you have all the music discs, and also 3 empty slots for the 1.21 music discs. And my favorite ones are outlined by the diamond blocks, and they are the other side in the pig step. And that was very nice. It's my favorite music disc. This is also my favorite music disc. I have two favorites. And it's okay to have two favorites. And it's a big step. And I often come here to listen to them. And next up we have our PvP arena, which has just some slabs and some indents. So these mounds. Also the entrance is pretty grand. And if my friends come over here to join, we can battle with them. Next we have our armor trim. So I decided to just put each armor trim on diamond armor with the amethyst trim. And so this is the silence armor trim, which is my favorite. This one, the dune armor trim, and the armor trim, and all the other ones. Also this one is pretty good. It's the rib armor trim. And that's just all the armor trims. But I'm gonna have to add 2 more in the 1.21 update. So one's gonna go over here and one over here. And we're gonna wait for the next updates to add even more armor trims, probably. And over here, in a similar position, we have our leather dyed armor. So all the colors, 16 Minecraft colors. And over here, this building is the goat horn room with all the goat horns. And there were some goats over here, but they just ran out and despawned probably. So a wise thing to know is to not leave your goats without a fence, but I put these too late. So this is the ponder goat horn. The Sikh goat horn. The ones that the pillagers use. The Singh goat horn. Like a lighter tone. The Feel goat horn. Which has that weird sound at the end. Dream goat horn. It just sounds like a bunch of cows, not dreams. The Ern goat horn. The Call goat horn. It's pretty unique. And finally, the Admire goat horn. It really sound like admiring something or somebody. And right over here, we have our transformed structures. But most of them I don't like, so I'm going to transform them another time. So this is the Desert Temple with 2 rooms over here. And treasure. The amethyst. Basically, I'm going to redo this one. That way I have the shipwreck with actual water. And they have a lot of beds down here. Yeah, and I'm also gonna redo this structure. But my favorite one out of all these is the desert well, which I'm gonna actually keep because it turned out pretty good, I think. It has this water as well, should have, and some leaves and other stuff. And over here we have transformed igloo. Looks like a bigger igloo, and it's mostly empty, so I should add something down here. And you can suggest what should I add there in the comments, but there's probably gonna be no comments because my only subscriber outside of my family doesn't play Minecraft. And these are the copper blocks with all the different oxidation stages. So these ones are more oxidized than these ones. And in the new update, they're gonna add a lot more. So I'm gonna have to like build a second floor or something. And all this is made out of iron blocks, and thanks to my amazing iron farm. And these are just little replicas of the warped and crimson biomes, where once I got my wood from. And now they're mostly useless, but for just decoration. This tower over here is for the minecart. It's from build limit to bedrock. And we're gonna have to go up. No, we're not. We have an elytra, which is the most overpowered item in Minecraft. It allows you to fly with just the use of fireworks. And over here we have our build height, And we place our minecart and we just go down. And we safely land down here. What a journey. And this gigantic building is my villager trading hall. It's a little big for a trading hall, but it has 10 of each of the 16 jobs. So, stone cutters, the butchers, and all of the other ones. And I added this roof from cherry leaves to make these particle effects, which are pretty nice, just calming to have. And I got all those leaves from shearing cherry trees, which wasn't really hard because they insta-mine leaves and I can make a lot of shears. And these are a couple of my villager breeders. This one is empty because I used all the villagers for something and I forget what it was, but I think they're now all dead. And over here, this is my egg farm. It's just chickens on a hopper and it produces a lot of eggs. As you can see. And over here we have sheep farm with all of the wool colors. And our first building that we made, it has no purpose and it's just a dome. It's the first build we made. It's all out of spruce logs, the spruce planks, and the floor is made out of spruce too. It has no purpose for now, maybe forever. And over here, well, I have replicated the first Outcasts SMP meeting place with the mushrooms. It's not completely accurate, but it's a good addition of greenery, well, I guess brownery to my world. And over here, this is my second end portal with some parkour, but we're not gonna go in just yet because we haven't finished the overworld in the nether yet. So these are the wool blocks, which I could build a second wool farm in every one of them if I want to, but for now I just left them like that. And over here we have our unfinished zoo for every mob in the game, and I still have to finish all these cages for them, and it's a lot of work and I don't want to do it just now. And this over here is just all of our different beacon colors with all the different beacon beams, which I can float on. Actually, as you can see, I'm floating. Well, actually, there's some glass that also changes the color of the beam. So the blue for the diamond, the white for the iron, and so forth. It has all of the effects, which is pretty nice to have, but it doesn't last a long time if you go away from here. And here's our, just in the corners we have our different trees. So there's our oak tree, our birch tree, or spruce, and also jungle tree. So it just adds a little bit of variety, and I just didn't know what to put in those corners. Over here we have our one and only dragon egg. It's just in this box. I just teleported it away. So now it's over here. But I'll clean that up later. And there's all things we have left to go. before we go on to the nether part of my world. So these are just all of the smaller farms. So this is our cactus farm. Our cactus farm produces a lot of cactuses. This is our non-working flower farm. This is our not working sweet berry farm because the foxes didn't want to pick up the berries. I think that's only a Java thing, so I killed all of them. And this is a non-working turtle egg farm or skewed farm. This is my working glowberry farm, which you just have to hold the right click and they just spray bone meal at them to make them grow faster. And basically it's pretty easy, but useful farm, and it produces a lot of berries. And this is my dripstone farm, which produces dripstone for farms like the lava farm. And this is a non-working chicken egg farm. Oh no, it's a cooked chicken farm. Doesn't work. Here are my smelters, which is one furnace. And we have 2 furnaces, 1 blast furnace and 1 smoker. And this is my somewhat working fish farm, but I don't use it. Over here is my first bee farm, which also doesn't work. But over here we've made a new one which actually works. And it works pretty well. But some of the honeycombs and honey bottles get just thrown out over here, and I don't know why. Maybe because the redstone signal is weak over here. And these are my tall flower farms, which actually work, and they're pretty easy to make. Over here we've got an XP farm, which also doesn't work. This is my powder to concrete maker, which you just place down the concrete powder and it just converts to concrete if you add water, and you can just mine it. And over here we have our automatic crop farm, which just sprays bone meal and just breaks the crops. Here's our cow farm, which can be used for every mob, but there's no more cows. And over here is our pumpkin farm and melon farm, which are pretty slow, but they're very easy to make. So if you make a couple hundred of them, you're gonna have a very fast melon farm. And over here we have our mangrove propagule farm, where you also just press the lever, and when they grow you just break them. So it's pretty easy farm to make. Over here is a manual tree farm, or just mine the trees, but automatically grows and pushes them, and it should break the leaves, but it doesn't because it also broke. Then over here we have our shulker box, loader, and unloader over here. And so that's it for the overworld stuff for now, but I'm gonna show you guys my self-sus base over there at the end of the video, which I'm still making, by the way, and I'm gonna upload a video pretty soon on my completed base with everything in there. It's a pretty big one and good one. So just wait a couple minutes, or maybe a little less. We're going into the nether. That's the microphone beam, by the way. I don't know how to put it out. And over on the inside, I just made this cave a little bit more suitable and travelable, so you can travel, or travelable. And over here we have our window to the nether, which looks pretty cool outside, but my render distance isn't too big to not make it impossible to see because of the low FPS and to not hurt my eyes. And over here we have our not automatic piglin bartering station, which throws away the gold from the dispenser, then he trades and puts it into the hopper chest, which can produce loot. And if you make a lot of them and make them automatic, you're gonna have a pretty good gold farm. Or if you just put a lot of piglins and just spam like a lever instead of a button. And it's just the normal nether. There's the basalt deltas, the wastelands. There's Crimson Forest. And I just like the look of the nether, so I'm gonna survive 1,000 days in just the nether. So I start in the nether and I can't go to the overworld or the end. Now I'm on fire. But it's okay. And now we're running out of fireworks, by the way. Yeah, and I have a couple bastions that I'm gonna transform. But maybe I'm gonna transform them in another world where I'm gonna transform every structure and also restore every structure, which is a different thing. I'm gonna do all of them and so make videos on all of them. Hopefully some of them catch attention of a lot of people, and I'm gonna have 200,000 subscribers. And finally, our end. So in our end, I just blew up stuff around the obsidian platform. Yeah, and one of those goats wandered over here. And over here we have our Enderman farm, which also doesn't work, where the Endermen spawn over here once it's not peaceful. And I just killed them over here. And it was pretty scary to make all this bridge. And I've killed 20 dragons and made all of these end gateways, and they're now easily accessible. And over here in the center, I have flattened out this area, and I'm gonna make a super cool big base over here, my end base. And I'm gonna give ourselves some fireworks because we need more. And over here we have our somewhat working sand farm. I don't think it works, but yeah, should've. And we're gonna try to get in, which we're gonna fail, probably, and use up all our fireworks on. We made it. Now we're just gonna turn up our render distance in hopes that we can find Shulker Farm. So it's by an end city. I think it's over here somewhere. Maybe it's not. It's challenging to find Shulker Farm, which I've almost never used. Yeah, so we're just gonna quit our attempt. Till we spawn back in our house. Look at the paintings for a while. Once we're unstuck, we can move. I don't know when that's gonna happen. Yeah. And that's our animal ravine. And you've been waiting for it. Here's my unfinished base. But in the next video, you're gonna see it completely finished. It's got these oak and birch trees. It's got 2 floors, and I guess that's it. We're gonna do a second world tour once we make a lot more progress. And this is our big bamboo shoot. Yeah. And if we turn up our render distance, it looks very cool from here. I've never actually done that, but here's our hardcore. Well, it's not hardcore, it's just survival world with a castle. As you can see, it's a lot bigger than my other projects. And bye. See you guys when I complete the base.